Hey y'all, how's it going? This is Mark. I'm just walking outside today. Nice flowers, look at those. Crazy? Take a closer look. Some tropical flowers right there. I thought I would just come out here and talk to y'all a little bit because I've been thinking last few days about the channel and what I'm doing with it. What's really interesting is the reaction video got crazy reaction. Now I know why people do reaction videos. You get a lot of views. The Bailey and Kita dance reaction video, like 1,200, I think, 1,300 views, over 1,000. 30 people liked it. One person didn't, but you know, there's always one. But yeah, it's crazy. And I actually enjoy doing it. I mean, I love watching this dance stuff, so I'm probably gonna do some more of those when they come up on my feed. If it's something that's not that interesting to look at, then I probably won't do it. But those two in particular, I've really been looking forward to their stuff. Chibi Unity is amazing. Oxygen is fantastic. So I'll probably do reactions to those three groups specifically because those are the ones I'm kind of rooting for. Anyway, that's beside the point. What I was thinking about was that the content in my channel is very MoRandom, which is kind of the point, but I think I wanted to narrow it down a little bit more with specific content on specific topics. And I was kind of analyzing, like, where is my focus right now in life and what am I trying to work on? And there's essentially three things that I'm focused on right now. The first is web design, both as a career and as what I'm teaching. And so if you don't know, I'm a web designer and developer by trade. That's my job. And I also teach web design at the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. I teach a web design and development course there. And I've been thinking a lot about the whole industry of web design and then what do I have to say about it? What is sort of my input into it? And I have opinions about things. I mean, don't we all? But I think I'd like to share some of those thoughts and ideas and perspectives because I've been doing web design for like almost 25 years now, since the mid-90s. And I've done it in a lot of different capacities. I've done it internationally, not to toot my horn, but just so you know my background. So I've been doing it for a long time, just UI design in general, user interface design. And I worked at a bunch of startups. I was one of the original team members over Rotten Tomatoes. We sold that. I worked for Jet Li as his web designer for 10 years. I worked in China. I taught design methodology seminars across different cities in China. Worked as a visual designer there. I worked in some startups in Hong Kong, and you know, and I've done work for big clients like Disney Channel or Warner Brothers, and also just helping help people build their online platforms. You know, and I really enjoy doing that. I love doing that. Right now, I'm doing web design mostly for state and local and federal government related clients, but it's an enjoyable process, and I really like doing it. So I thought it would be good for me to share more about that on my channel, because that's kind of the thing I'm most passionate about. You know, that's the thing I do as a living, for a living, and something I have experience with. So I thought I might be able to help people who are interested in learning more about it, or just like talking shop about that sort of thing. I'm not like the best developer, and I'm not the best designer. I'm not the best business person, and I'm not the best marketer. I don't claim to be any of those things, but I feel like I do have my own perspective on those things. And even though I don't claim to be the best, I still feel like I have stuff to share. So I think I'm going to start doing things more in that direction. And they might take the shape of doing like speed designs, because I like doing those, like time lapse of a design project, and just sort of so you can see how it's built out. Or doing like thoughts about like design challenges for myself, like coming up with an idea for an app and seeing if I can mock it up and implement it, or things like that. Or just talking about topics in design that come up in the class I'm teaching, or things that I see students struggling with, that they could maybe get to know a little bit better or have a different perspective on. The thing that I was talking with this guy Peck, hey Peck, if you're out there, who runs a design agency, a really good one out in the Bay Area. And he had a podcast, so I'll link to that in the description. And one thing he was talking about with his coworker now, a friend, colleague on the podcast, was how a lot of people, when they come out in the design industry out of school, they're so heavily focused on the design skills and being a good designer and being able to design well and make things beautiful. But in reality, those skills are important, but those are just table stakes. Those just get you in the door at most places. But it's what you bring beyond that. I'm not the most amazing visual designer. I'm pretty good, but I'm not amazing. But what sets me apart and what the people where I work enjoy about my abilities is that I understand how to interface with clients and discuss and talk to them and communicate ideas. I know how to present design theory and ideas and thoughts effectively. And I know how to understand how design works in the entire digital marketing ecosystem, not just a design for design's sake, but what is the website or mobile app you're building? How does that work in tandem with everything else your business is doing? So those are strengths I have that aren't related to just design skills. And I think one of the challenges for a lot of young designers is that they're so focused on skill building and on aesthetics and things like that, that they don't realize that there's actually much more beyond that. That's two-dimensional, and have to go three-dimensional into much more important topics. Anyway, so things like that I think are really interesting, and I might want to talk about that a little more. I still want to do reaction videos, so I'll probably still do those, but maybe I'll do reactions to design. It's getting windy. But I think also the other thing, so I mentioned three things that I'm sort of really involved in right now. I think I'm going to move. It's getting a little windy up here. So the other thing that I'm sort of really want to talk about is the Norwegian language and my interest in Norway and in visiting Norway at some point and getting better at language learning. Just language learning in general I'm very interested in and sort of passionate about. So I think doing more of those updates on language learning and maybe doing analysis of different language learning systems, talking about what the different approaches are, because there's a lot of really interesting approaches out there, from MIA to the mimic method to using SRS and there's just a lot of really cool stuff about language learning. Stuff Stephen Krashen has been talking about, the comprehensible input, all that stuff's really interesting to me. So I might want to talk a little bit about that stuff as well. And related to that is also travel. I like to travel and do minimalist travel, one bag traveling around the world is really interesting to me. So travel hacking and sort of finding ways to get around with less money is really interesting to me as well. And that's related to language learning and cultural exposure. So maybe when the pandemic lifts and everything is back to semi-normal and I get my passport renewed, I can actually start taking some trips and documenting and exploring and sharing that with you guys. The other thing, the third one, is related to health and fitness and well-being. And it sort of is related somewhat to Wushu, because I was known for a long time as having a Wushu channel, Wushu Adventures. Wushuzilla is the Wushu channel. I'll link to that somewhere. But I had a lot of, I guess not success, but a lot of traction with that channel and Loud Birds. And that went really well. But I don't think Wushu is really my focus these days. I haven't done Wushu since I stopped coaching it in 2018. 2017, 2018 is when I stopped coaching. And I haven't practiced in a long time. Even Tai Chi, I don't really do it anymore. But I still have an interest in Wushu. And I'd love to coach it again in the future, but just right now, obviously, we can't do that. But just talking about exercise and mobility and physical fitness and taking care of yourself and nutrition and things like different nutritional paradigms like keto or paleo, or talking about intermittent fasting and the benefits of that, or just plant-based diets and nutritional density and all of these different things that kind of interest me. So those are really the three things that I think that are most interesting to me to talk about. And I like to help this channel sort of narrow in and focus a bit on something. And my inclination is probably towards design. I also want to do language learning, and I also want to do the health and fitness and well-being stuff. But it's challenging because those are not related to each other at all. And if you're going to have a channel, it should really be focused on something. You know, niching down is important. I guess right now, this Mark Moran channel is really just sort of my random thoughts and ideas that pop up. And maybe it makes sense for me to create sub-channels or other channels where I talk about design. I have my Akamai Websites channel. I could talk about design there. I have my Wushu Adventures channel. I could talk about, or WushuZilla, I could talk about health and fitness and martial arts there. I have Les's Moran, which could be about minimalism, language learning, travel, things like that. So I have some options. I'm still sort of debating and thinking about things, but at the moment, I just wanted to blab about these random thoughts. 11 minutes with nothing interesting to say. That's fantastic. So, you know, let me know what you think. What would you like me to share with you guys? What's interesting to you? What would you like to hear about related to me being here in Hawaii and doing these things, related to design, related to language learning, related to travel, minimalism, health and fitness, lots of stuff like that. So tell me what you think. What would you like to have me share? Because I'm still in this experimental phase with this channel. I'm still looking and seeing, what is it that I want to talk about? What is it that I have to share? What value can I bring to other people's lives? And how can I help other people with whatever information or knowledge I might have? So that's sort of my frame of mind right now. Things I've been thinking about. Things that make me go, So that's it. Just random thoughts today. Hope you all are doing well. The hurricane was a total bust. It went right by us. It's sunny today, earlier. So nothing really exciting going on here. Just working hard, trying to prepare my class for the start of the fall semester on August 26th, and just doing a lot of work. So that's it for today. Have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Be happy, be good, be safe, be clean with your hands and your face and the masking and all that stuff. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hold the bra. Oh, I gotta do the hand thing. Okay. How you doing?